Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I'm really excited about this because it is a naturally radiant finish, and you know that your girl does not like being matte, especially because my skin is super dry, and so I'm hoping that this is good for dry skin and helps kind of hydrate a little bit. I'm also going to be reviewing the NYX Bear With Me Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil. Anything with cannabis sativa seed oil will help also soothe any redness, and as you can see, I have a lot of redness on my face. My face is always red. So we're going to be reviewing these two, and I'm going to be doing a wear test with some check-ins because I got a long day ahead of me. Now, a little disclaimer before we get into the video: if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I'm a no-filter bitch and I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth, so keep that in mind while you're watching. Alright guys, if you are interested in seeing how the NYX Born to Glow foundation and the Bear With Me Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil primer works, then just stay tuned. So I already went and super duper moisturized my face in case this is not a dry skin friendly foundation. Now, before we get into both of these products, I want to kind of read a little bit about them. First, we're going to go in with the Bear With Me Perfecting Primer. Now, this retails for $15 and you get 1 fluid ounce, so it's about the same as any foundation. So this is a very luminous type of primer. It looks very glowy, very nice. It's very soft and smooth as well. So I'm really excited to put this on my face. It says that this is a lightweight primer, soothes and hydrates for up to 24 hours. It helps blur skin's imperfections, infused with hemp-derived cannabis sativa seed oil and centella asiatic extract. Contains micropearls for a super radiant glow. It's cruelty-free, of course, and this is also a vegan formula. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on my face and we're gonna see. Wow, look at that. I am radiant, bitch. I really like this primer. I also really like the way it feels. It kind of just sinks into your skin with ease. I'm not sitting here having to really rub it into the skin, and it just feels really moisturizing, really soft, and oh, I am really liking this. Look at that glow, girl. Wow, I am feeling dewy as fuck right now. I feel like this is gonna be a great primer. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit to see if it has any of that sticky tackiness that's gonna help the foundation kind of sit on the skin. Now, today I'm gonna be doing something a little different. Lately, I have really not been using any sponges to apply my makeup, just because I've been trying some new techniques because my pores are so ginormous. Y'all know the deal. And so I've been trying this new technique which kind of minimizes the look of pores. So I'm just going to be doing a brush test today. We're just going to be putting everything on with a brush, and then if I feel like I need to go back in with a sponge, I will do so. So let's get into this foundation. This is a naturally radiant foundation. There is 1.01 fluid ounce, so 0.1 more than any other normal foundation. Now, this says that it is a naturally glow foundation and it comes in 45 freaking shades, which I think is amazing. It's buildable, medium coverage that lasts all day, best foundation for a dewy glow, of course cruelty-free, and this is a vegan formula, which means that there are no animal-derived ingredients. Now, it does have a little bit of a yellow undertone to it. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it out. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the mug. It feels very, very soft. It's not like a regular liquid foundation. I feel like it's a lot more liquidy than something that would be like in a pump, so I'm really kind of liking that. I have finally cleaned my flat top kabuki brush, so I'm gonna go in with this and we're just gonna spread the foundation around and we're gonna see just how well this foundation works. One thing I'm noticing while I'm squeezing the tube and kind of just dotting my face with this foundation is that this tube is gonna go very fast because it is very liquidy. If you were to squeeze a dollop on your face, it would actually start running down a little bit, but that's okay with me. I don't really mind because then I feel like this is gonna be a thinner foundation, and so it won't feel like it's gonna be on your face. It's not gonna be one of those foundations where you walk around and you actually feel like you have foundation on the face. I can see that it is blending beautifully and it is giving me such a beautiful radiance to the skin, and I am here for this. I have been so excited about this foundation because I have been in dire need of something that is hydrating, and this actually kind of feels like a moisturizer on the skin, and I think that's why I like it so much, because it's light, airy, but it still feels like just a moisturizer, or maybe like a tinted moisturizer. So I'm really liking it. This is one layer on the skin, and I can see that it is about light coverage because you can still see like my acne scarring and my discoloration. But of course this did say medium coverage, so this being the first application, I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer on top and see if we can add a little bit more coverage. I don't mind light coverage like this at all, especially the fact because it still looks like skin. It doesn't really bother me, but I just want to see how much coverage we can get out from this bad boy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to add more foundation onto the skin, and if I have any other spots that I really need to conceal, I'll go in with concealer to add a little bit more coverage to those areas. Go ahead and blend this out again. I'm definitely noticing that my pores are not as big as usual. You guys know I always complain about my pore size because I always feel like my pores are the biggest thing on my face. Now the new technique I've been using is that I take a brush kind of like this one. This is the one I've been using, and all I do is kind of rub the foundation into the areas where my pores are super ginormous, and this kind of helps the foundation go more into the skin, and it helps kind of make your pores look a lot smaller because the foundation is being worked into the skin. But if you're going to do this, you really want to moisturize your face because you are still exfoliating with the brush. Even though you may not feel like it, it's still doing micro exfoliation. So you want to make sure that you get all your dry patches off before you do this. And I can honestly say that this technique has really helped with my pores. It's helped kind of make them look a lot smaller and a lot less noticeable. So I just like to do this with the small brush, make sure I got the foundation into the pores over here, and then I'll go in with the flat top kabuki brush and then kind of stipple it into place. Anything that is on my face has actually stayed on my face. The brush isn't really absorbing much of it, and so I'm just really liking this foundation so far. So now I'm gonna go in with a semi-damp sponge. I say semi because all I do is I take my Pearl Essence Aloe Rose Water, and all I do is I spray just the top that I'm gonna use. So this part is actually damp, and this I'm going to use to kind of just smooth out the foundation. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to press into the skin because I really want that foundation to just like be one with the skin. So I'm going to do this to get some of the brush streaks out. So I got the foundation on the face, and I'm going to scoot you guys up a little bit so you can actually see what is going on this mug. So I decided to get the phone camera out because it picks up what's going on my face a lot better. Hopefully you guys can see I have a lot of dryness right here in between my brows. It is probably the most dry spot on my face, and it does cling to quite a little bit of dry patches. And like I said, I exfoliated today, I super moisturized, and I even used the new NYX primer, which is supposed to hydrate a little bit. So I think that helped, but I don't really like how it's sitting right here in the middle of my forehead, but that's okay because a lot of foundations lately haven't been sitting that great up here. I do have some dryness on the sides of my nose, but it's not too bad, and I have to say my pores are not as huge as they normally are with other foundations. You can see a lot of my discoloration popping through and some of my acne, but to me that's okay because my skin still looks like skin, and I don't mind if my flaws are showing just a little bit because to me it's like a little bit more realistic. You know what I'm saying? I really do like the way this foundation looks and sits on the skin. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my favorite concealer to see just how well this can blend. I'm gonna be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect, and this is in the shade Pure Ivory. I'm going to add a couple of the little dollops here under my eyes. I don't want to put on too much concealer because my skin does look like a light to medium coverage. I don't want my concealer to look full coverage while the rest of my face is like medium coverage. You get what I'm saying? Because to me that's like not the best look. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this concealer. We're gonna blend it out. This concealer is one of my favorites because if you have dry skin, this works amazing. It doesn't cling to any dry patches, and it actually covers any dark circles or any acne that you have that you might be worried about that you kind of just want to conceal. That concealer looks really good with this foundation. As you can see, because I didn't add too much concealer, it kind of blends with everything, and it still looks natural under my eyes, which is why I love this concealer because you can just control the coverage of it. If you want a lot more coverage, you can go ahead and add another layer and you're gonna be a full coverage girl. It is now 11:07 and I'm gonna call the check-in time 11:05 because this foundation has been sitting on my face for 2 minutes and that's a lot easier for me to remember for check-in times. So far, I do like the way that this just feels on the skin. I love the way it looks because it is a very dewy, radiant finish. Now, I will say it is kind of caking up around my nose a little bit, and I think it's because my sides of my nose are a little bit dry, so I'm not going to fault the foundation for that. And we're just gonna see how this wears throughout the day. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Now, it is 12:05 and I've had this foundation for an hour on my face now. I actually had to leave the house and take my husband to work and I didn't want him to be late, so I didn't have time to actually let you guys know what's on my face. But of course, I will leave everything in the description box below. I did have to set my face like on these areas here under my eye and like over here, but I did leave my forehead just the way it is. Sorry about the lighting, you guys. It's been raining and really gloomy and gross, but so far I am really just loving the way it looks because it looks like skin. It's so beautiful and I don't even mind that my acne is showing and my scars are showing, so it's really not a big deal for me. I honestly think that this foundation looks absolutely beautiful right now. If you can see, I'll turn a little bit so you guys can kind of get my face in the light, but I am just really loving how this is sitting on my face. I actually have to go run a couple errands. I'm going to see the cardiologist today. Hopefully they fucking find what the hell is wrong with me because this pain is real, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and run some errands and I will check in with you guys in a couple of hours. Guys, it is now 5:38, so I've been wearing this for a little over 6 hours now and I am still loving this foundation. The one thing that I don't really like though is around my nose area. It's kind of like bunching up, like really dry and kind of cakey looking. My chin is kind of separating, but I've already mentioned so many times that no matter what foundation I'm wearing, that this crease just kind of ends up popping up, so I can't really do anything about that. I think my forehead actually looks pretty good except for this crease right here, and I feel like I kind of do have to reset my face because it's getting almost, I want to say not oily, but like, I don't know, it's like on the verge of becoming oily. Other than that, I feel like this foundation is really good. I'm liking it so far. It's done a little bit of separating on the forehead, but other than that, I think I absolutely love this foundation. After having this on for a little over 6 hours and it still looks like this, I think this is gonna be my new favorite summertime foundation. Of course, I'm gonna be wearing it a little bit longer, so I'll do another check-in, but so far your girl be loving this foundation. All right, I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. So it is now 8:28, so I've been wearing this for a little over 9 hours, and I have to say, you guys, that this is one of my new favorite foundations. I know I've only been wearing it for a day, but just the way it has lasted on my skin, it still looks pretty good. I actually ended up falling asleep for like an hour and a half and nothing came off on my face, which I really like. There's a little bit of texture on my face, but as you can see, nothing has really rubbed off and everything has stayed on throughout the day. I feel like the only thing that really bothered me was like on the sides of my nose. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's very dry right here, so a lot of the foundation kind of caked up on the sides of my nose. But other than that, this foundation to me still looks amazing after 9.5 hours. It was also really hot today, so the fact that this still lasted through the heat, and actually it was raining, then it was super hot, so it even lasted through the rain, and I am pleasantly surprised by that. I actually almost forgot to sit down and do my last and final check-in because I can't feel anything on my face. That's how comfortable this foundation is. I was not even gonna gonna film the end because I don't know what it is about this foundation, you guys, but it looks so freaking good on the skin. If you've seen any of my recent foundation reviews, you will see that a lot of my foundations have not sat nicely throughout the day. By hour like 4 or 5, it's already separating in some spots and really creasing, or you know, kind of like my face has gotten oily and some things are, you know, it just doesn't look good. So I am so excited that I finally found a foundation that looks good for over 8 hours and that it sits comfortably on the skin. It doesn't really rub off at all, especially if you set it. Everything that I wore on my face will be linked in the description box below if you guys are wondering. And I just have to say that I am really in love with this foundation. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it all in the comment section below. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.